This is Omar de Silva on Disrupt Radio, covering for the big man Jules Lund. It's Startup Nation. In the startup world, it can be a minefield. For newbies, for seasoned pros, you got jargon coming around left, right, and center, confusing funding rounds. So, not that you need it, we thought we'd dumb it down for you. So every Tuesday, we'll take you on a bit of a journey. From ideation to seed rounds to maturity and potential exit strategies. Welcome along to the Startup Lowdown.
Start up, low, down.
Last week, we spoke all things seed stage, and the founder of Impura, Ash Brown, told us how.
When it gets to seed stage, you've actually gone to market. You've validated a bit of your product market fit. You've got a product.
Yeah.
You've got people actually putting money into your startup in the form of revenue. It really comes down to you've got a product out there, you've got some users, you've got revenue coming in.
Yeah.
You've generally got one or two staff, if not more.
Yeah.
You're operating as a business, but you're not a profitable business at that stage.
And this week, we're going to take a look at the early stages and Series A in particular, and getting a true product to market fit. And with us now is Ryan Elliott, the co-founder at Partner.io. And these guys, they use AI insights to enable growth. Strategic partnerships paired with powerful data mapping to supercharge your partnership marketing and business decisions. G'day, Ryan.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. Hey, let's talk Series A. How hard is it to actually get to this stage?
Mate, it's rather difficult, especially at the moment. But we're in that process now. So I just listened to the snippet from last week, and those words ring really true. So we're at the phase at the moment where we've gone through that phase, and we're trying to gear up for Series A.
Incredible. And so talk to us. You're getting ready for it now. How are you preparing for it? What is it that you're trying to get figured out? What is it you're trying to get lined up? What are the things that you think are critical to help you be successful at this stage?
Most of the things that they're typically looking for, and I'm talking about obviously venture capitalists, is through your pre-seed and your seed stage, it's all about trying to understand, do you actually have a product here that people are willing to pay for? And that's your seed stage. And then as you mature and you're moving into Series A, it's going, okay, one, you can acquire customers, but two, are they sticking around? Are they using your product and then churning straight away? Because churn's obviously a really important metric to look at. And then above that, it's one, are customers sticking around, but two, are you starting to develop this repeatable and predictable sales model that, if you spend $1 over here, it's going to bring in another $3 into your business. So trying to understand those core metrics of each business.
And so you talked about there a repeatable sales model. And if I put in X dollars in, I'm going to get Y dollars out. What are some of the things that you guys have thought about in actually figuring out exactly what that can be for your business? And what are the experiments that you should be running? And how is it that you actually get that repeatable sales model?
Yeah, it's a good question. But I guess moving away from founder-led sales, so in your pre-seed and seed stage, as the founder, you should be the one doing all of the selling. You should be the one doing all of the customer success. And you as the founder, you're the person with the most conviction. You're the one with the most product knowledge. So it makes sense for you to be in there doing it. But as you start to move away from that, starting to create this predictable sales model of one, what's generating your leads, how much are they costing you, and then how much time is it going to take a salesperson to convert that lead into a paying customer, and then understanding how long that sales cycle is going to be. And as a founder, you need to be able to step away from that and recruit someone who can take over it for you, and then understanding at a higher level what's your cost to acquire a customer, your CAC. It's another important metric that they measure. So they're the sort of things, and then testing, where are our leads coming from? What's our most effective channel at the moment, and what's that channel costing us per lead?
Super powerful stuff. Cost of acquisition, your CAC. Talk to us a little bit about that. I know it's a critical one. What does it actually mean? What do we put into the calculation there?
Yeah, each business is typically different, and in the early stage, it's really hard to get a measure on it because when you're doing founder-led sales, you're typically spending more time with the customer than you should through your demos and your discovery calls and things like that. Your CAC is always going to be higher in your early stages, but some things you want to try and measure is at least how long are you spending with a customer, how many demos does it take, perhaps if you're in a SaaS model, what's your leads costing you, so what subscriptions are you also using? So if you're using some automated tool that's, has some sequences on LinkedIn, or if you're using some lead generation tool like Apollo or something like that, what is the total cost of all those subscriptions divided by the amount of leads that you're generating? And then try and work in how much time you're spending with those customers, and you'll get your CAC. And it's important to know that's not, well, for us anyway, we had to try and develop out our own CAC because we looked at other businesses and we're like, well, their CAC's this, but they're measuring it this way. That's not important or relevant to us. So I think the key there is trying not to put yourself in a pigeonhole with other people's metrics. Try and understand your own, and then just try and improve them as you go.
Yeah, such an important point. You've got to do what's right for your business, no question about it. Let's take it one level deeper. Why does it matter? Why do we need to know what our acquisition cost is, what our CAC is? What does that actually do for us?
Well, there's your CAC, right? And then there's your CAC payback. So if your CAC is, let's just say it costs you $100 to acquire a customer, but you're only making $10 a month off that customer, then that's going to take you 10 weeks to pay back that CAC. So that's called a CAC payback. And then you've got your lifetime value of a customer. How long do they actually stick around for? So when you start to work out these percentages, that gives you a really strong indication of how healthy are we at the moment, and if we keep trending like this, reducing CAC, increasing our lifetime value of our customer, what does that mean in the long term if we fast forward a year's time, 2 years' time? Because even at the stage of pre-seed, seed, Series A, investors don't expect you to be break even, they don't expect you to be profitable, but they do expect you to be trending in the right direction.
All right, so let me play this back, make sure I've got it right. It costs me $100 to get a paying customer, and that might be the dollars that I've spent on paid media, that might be some software subscriptions that I've been paying for, and all in all, it's cost me $100 for this customer to say, yep, I'm going to pay you $10 every month to be your customer. And so then I know, all right, if I'm getting $10 every month, my CAC payback is about 10 months' time. Great, I've now got the money back that I invested to get the customer. But what we therefore can assume is if in month 11 that customer was gone, well, then I haven't made any profit. So what I want to be looking for is how long is this customer sticking around, and are they sticking around longer than the 10 months where I'm suddenly starting to make some profit off that original acquisition of the customer. Is that right?
Nailed it, man. And then it's just about improving those numbers.
Love it. So what's this magical product market fit concept all about then?
Mate, that's like this mystic world where everyone wants to get to, but you don't even know if you ever get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and mate, it's some of the metrics that you do look at are those things. So the lifetime value, like how long are your customers sticking around for? And we tried for the first 12 months just trying to figure out what the hell is product market fit and how do you know when you get it. And we chat to a lot of different advisors and different investment partners, and they kind of give you different answers every time. So all of the advice seems to cancel each other out. I even heard one advisor say it's more of an intuitive feeling that you have it.
Turn it up.
Could you imagine how frustrating that was? And but for us, it's just looking at those key metrics. One, are we accelerating new customer onboarding at a cheaper rate? That's a good indication that you're getting at least your messaging right. Two, are they sticking around for longer each month, each cohort? So you can measure your customers through cohorts as well. So if you change your messaging and then the cohort of customers over the next quarter seem to stick around for longer, then you know that, okay, that thing that we changed, that cohort seems to improve the numbers. So therefore, maybe we're moving closer to product market fit. But one of the things that you can't turn away from is chatting to your customers as much as you can, chatting to your customers that use your product a lot, chatting to your customers that aren't using it that much, and then more importantly, chatting to your customers that churn, the ones that leave. They're this like valuable source of information that has really shaped most of the iterations and the changes that we've brought to partner is the ones that leave.
Such a powerful mindset to have, to know that there's always something you can learn from the customers, even or in particular the ones that leave. So Ryan, in a minute or so, should I be going for my Series A funding if I don't have product to market fit, or should I be doing whatever I can to extend my runway, the cash in the bank, to basically get to product market fit and then go for my Series A? What do I do?
I'd be doing the later, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to break even, get to a really strong position financially, so we're in a healthy spot. If you are at break even as a startup, that's probably a really strong indicator that you have found some level of product market fit. And not only that, it's going to give you a way better valuation down the line. You're going to have investors come to you. They're going to be writing term sheets that are in your favor. But if you try and raise your Series A and you haven't found a level of product market fit, you don't have a repeatable sales model, then if you do raise some cash, then you're probably going to get a pretty bad term sheet.
Powerful insights, Ryan. Thank you so much for sharing them with us all, and all the very best for your Series A process.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the invite. Had a ball.
Good stuff. That's all for Startup Lowdown this week, but next